There we go. All right. So, okay. So, all right. So we're here with Langford Parton. That's all right.
Yes, sir.
And we're in his bee yard, somewhere outside Chattanooga, and we're just going to talk to him about how he keeps bees. Now, I went through your hives with you doing inspections for selling queens and bees, maybe, and you have some very, very calm bees. Why do you think they are so calm?
Genetics, the way you work your bees. Because we did the inspection today with overcast skies. At one point it was a little cool and breezy.
It sure was.
They're calm on the frames. Most people can't even walk out in their bee yard without a veil.
Yeah, and we're standing right here in the middle of it.
Standing amongst 60 hives with nothing on.
And then we also did a short video of busting a myth about the bananas and how calm these bees are. You put a banana peel inside the hive.
Yeah, and then we came back about an hour later, took the lid off, took the feeder off. They were working on the banana, but ignored us.
Yeah.
But you've got people out there believe the myth that bananas and alarm pheromone are the exact same, and oh, they'll eat you alive.
And I eat a banana quite often before I go into the bee yard just so I can get my energy up to go through. I mean, we're doing 60 hives, sometimes I do more. So I'll eat a banana, and I've never had a problem with bees buzzing around the veil or anything. So um, it's all about how you work your hives, I believe. And you do a very nice, slow, methodical method going through your hives. And today we had definitely a plan going on of what we were trying to accomplish in each hive. It was checking the health of the hive, making sure you can breed some queens out of those. So the plan ahead of time really does work.
Well, you've always got to have a plan when you go into your bees. Just nothing like, oh, well, let's do this, let's do that, and 30 minutes later, you're still in that same hive, and you're wondering why they're mad, wondering why they're up in your face.
Yep. And I mean, if somebody came over and started disrupting my house and pulling the roof off and moving furniture around for a half hour, I'd be pretty mad too.
You've got to have a plan. Go in, like Jay said, we're going in to inspect the health of the hive. Once we do that, close it up, move on to the next one.
And also, the use of smoke.
Very little. As we were going through the yard, it was like, where's it at?
Yep.
It's a hive stand down. Well, let's take it just in case.
And I've noticed bees will be really, really calm. I don't know why I'm stuttering so much now on film, but the bees will be very, very calm, and then somebody will just out of habit smoke them, and you'll hear them just roar.
Yep.
And the only time you had to smoke them was when you were over there really kind of taking off all that burr comb in between and stirring up the honey.
Yeah, we had burr comb between boxes, and I just smoked them a little bit to get them off of it so you didn't kill them, and scraped it off and set in the pan and took it off to let them rob it out because I didn't want to leave it in the yard. But they didn't get me. Just enough smoke to get them to move. Most people sit there and they keep puffing it until they're gone. You puff it and then quit, and they'll continue to move and get out of your way.
Yeah, and it's, there's different philosophies on it. You puff it so it smells like a forest fire, drives them down, or, it masks the pheromone. I believe when somebody comes up and they blow a bunch of smoke in my face, first thing I do is I lean away. Yep. So it's the same thing to the bees. They don't want smoke in their face, so they're trying to get away from it. And if you continually smoke it, like you said, they're going to get angry.
Yeah. There's the use of smoke when you need it, and then there's what I call barbecuing bees. you're smoking them like you're smoking no.
And I've seen people burn the wings on bees because they got the smoker way too hot, and they're puffing and puffing and puffing, and you see the wings just curl. And then they look at it later and they go, well, I got deformed wing virus. No, I just saw you make that problem. So.
Yep, you got to have a nice. I was telling Jay when he came here, I said, how many people do you know that put herbs on top of their smoker? Number one, because there's, what I believe, rosemary, lavender. I put mint. Mint has thymol in it. Well, they all have thymol in it.
Yeah.
But I just I like the smell. Do you like the smell of pine needle burning? You know, we were over at Keith's inspecting his bees, and every time I got a whiff of that pine needle, I'm like, "Oh no, let me get out of there."
Yeah,
It
you
was
get that
running me
little
off.
cough.
Yeah, and I wished I could remember the gentleman's name, but he's a big shot in Ohio State with the bees. And I was listening to a podcast, and somebody asked him, "What's the best thing to use for smoker fuel that is the least damaging to us and the bees?" And the guy said it's wheat straw.
Yeah.
He said it gives off
I remember
less
that.
particulates to the air for us and them, and it's not a caustic smell like pine needles.
Yeah, because it's not the smell that drives the bees away; it's the thickness of that smoke. And like I said, just a little bit of smoke will usually drive them back and get them away. I've also noticed when you get into a hive and you get all those little girls looking up at you, and they're all the nurse bees, like, where'd the roof go? And people start smoking them, and yeah, it drives them down, but they weren't doing anything in the first place. They were just sitting.
Well, your first reaction if somebody ripped your roof off and you're watching TV is going to,
Yeah.
what?
Exactly. What's going on?
Then you're going to jump up and try to defend yourself.
Yeah, yeah.
With the right genetics and the right way to work them. Yeah.
Yeah, I think genetics are very important too. And Tennessee last year, we haven't got the numbers for this year. Over winter was last year was a 74% loss. What was your loss rate here?
12%.
12%. So
And some of those were my fault.
that's usually what problem
And-
is. But 12% versus 74%. Now you're right down close to Georgia, where in Tennessee there's been a big problem with, or not a big problem, but a big push to buy local queens, buy local bees. But and we're all blaming Georgia for the problem of having bad bees because we're much further north. We're not that much further north. And if you look at Kentucky, that also gets bees from Georgia. They have a much lower loss rate. So I don't think it's really the Georgia bees. And you're right here by Georgia. I'm looking at Georgia and Alabama. So you're that close to Georgia, and you have great bees.
And the myth of the power lines. You can see in the background, your high voltage power lines don't have any problems with that.
And some people blame the cell phones, which we're taking a video on the cell phone right here, and bees aren't even messing with it. So, yeah, there's a lot of myths that are a problem with new beekeepers because they don't know what to believe and what not to believe. So it is a hard learning curve that first couple of years.
Well, one thing I tell people is find yourself, the new beekeepers, find yourself a mentor. And I don't stop there. I say that keeps bees alive from year to year.
Yeah.
Not the ones that are on the buy the packages in the spring. They die off in the fall and they buy them in the spring.
That just gets expensive. Plus, you can't continue any survival rate.
No, you can't find the genetics. You've got to look at the hive and grade them. I have a five-point grading system. And if you don't grade a 4 or a 5 on it, I won't breed out of you. You may have all 5 categories and 4 of them in the 4 or 5 range and say you're propolis. I'm a firm believer in propolis. Your propolis collection is a 2 or a 3. I won't breed out of you. If you're a decent queen and you're great at collecting honey, I'll take you in a queen cage, take you to an out yard and requeen a hive over there that's failing with you. And then put something else in.
So that brings up a good question. When you're looking through these hives, what are you looking for personally for a good breeder queen?
Well, the majority of the breeder queens I have are purchased. So. But I do have a Woolie Bs line, and it's a feral queen that I caught about 12 miles out away from the nearest beekeeper, out in the middle of nowhere. And I call her the Red Queen. I marked her, and she flinched that wing right as I went to mark her. And not only was there, but it's all down that right wing. And I thought, oh Lord, they're going to kill her. They're going to kill her deader than a doornail. Just looked at her yesterday, and she's still in there. She's slow brooding up this year. This is her 3rd year that I've had her. So that'll be at least 4 years. The myth of requeening every year, no.
Yeah, I've had queens that lived 6 years, and they live that long. Yeah, if you leave them alone. They can.
5 years is the longest I had one, and Fred, the foul-mouthed beekeeper, that first year he called me up and he said, I've got an extra queen. The hive is shrinking. He said, if you'll build you an observation hive, I'll give her to you. He said, it's a feral queen that I caught.
Mm-hmm.
He said, she's piddling around and you're new to beekeeping, go for it. I put her in the observation hive, and she sat where that hive is sitting over there for 4 more years. And like a dummy, I didn't do anything with her. Year after year, I took boxes of honey off of her. She never swarmed. Had boxes in the spring, stayed ahead of her. Never swarmed. Last year, I had her inside the yard, and I looked in there, and all of a sudden she's gone, and there's 6 queens left. And that's when the light went on. Why did you waste such great genetics?
Jim been breeding her all along, huh?
And I have one of them left. All of them have petered out except one.
Yeah.
So,
yeah, you were telling me about that last year one time.
I mean, that one queen was just phenomenal. I mean, even one time we had a nice storm, and I came out the next morning and the hive was laying on its side. We had the 2 brood chambers and 3 boxes of honey just laying on its side, and none of them were together. And I thought, yeah, I've lost her. I went down there and stacked them all up. I mean, they were mad. They were mean. I put them all back together, and I waited 3 days and went in, and she was in there. Still just trucking right along. But it was amazing. I regret every time I talk about that queen. I regret not breeding off of that queen. Of course, I didn't know how to graft then either.
Yeah, that learning curve. So, what's your YouTube channel called?
YouTube is Woolie Bs Apiary. It's just common sense beekeeping stuff that, hey, look at that. Oh, let's get the phone out and video it. That's cool. I don't think anybody's seen it, or people don't tell you these things.
Yeah, and you've held back some of your secrets too.
Well, I've held back a few, but it's like one video I did, how to tell which hive is robbing a hive. Take a little pollen sub, flower, anything, and throw it on the bees as they're trying to go in and follow them back. The thing I found is Italians love to rob.
Yes, and people blame the Russians though, but Italians like to do it a lot.
Italians are the worst ones. Buck fast or not mean after, they say after you get them and over winter and the next year they turn mean. Got a bunch of them in the yard, and I got stung one time the whole time we were inspecting.
That last time that you were scraping.
And I was scraping, and she got a little mad. But did I smoke my hand? No. I just kept going. I pulled the stinger out, kept going, and nobody gangbanged on it like they normally do. They say.
And then right after that, we went into the banana peel hive.
Went back in the banana peel hive with that pheromone still on my finger, and nobody bothered me there either.
Well, yeah, I like the genetic of your bees. They are nice and fine, and they do well if you're at 12%. So it's definitely worth looking into.
But it's a very interesting.
Finally got one little honeybee kind.
Yeah, but I was probably in the way of flight path.
We were kind of in the way here, so. Anything else you would like to add?
No, not really, other than if you guys are looking for good genetics, give me a shout out. I'll send you some queens.
All right. I appreciate your time.
No problem. I appreciate you coming down and inspecting.
All right. We'll see you guys next time.